not gonna do this again.
Welcome back to Lutrey's Crusade,
where I visit every planet in the Kerbal system, just because I can. In the last episode, we made it all the way to JAUNT, which is where we are right now. Our next destination is Dres, which may actually exist this time around. Now, the KSP players among you surely have noticed something odd about Dres. Hey, wait a minute. Dres doesn't look like that. What are these fancy rings? Well, it's because I installed Proximus Better Dres. Seriously, go install this mod. It's really good. It makes Dres actually worth visiting. Anyway, I began making my way towards the surface. It was also around this time I joined a VC with my friends, but unfortunately, OBS didn't pick up their mics, so you can't actually hear them. But you can still hear me, though. Okay, that was actually kind of close. I almost crashed. The Dres ground blobs. Let's hope they're not as hungry as the Eve blobs or the Duna blobs. Considering what Super Slate is, he probably will. I bet Lutrey's reflecting on the crash that happened here, that started the whole mess in the first place. Watch the prologue. Lutrey comes from the fact that Dres even exists in the first place. What do you mean, Lutrey? Dres doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. You're just going through a standard EVA. This craft is just testing its legs. What are you talking about? You're just delusional. Alright, say goodbye to non-existence. I love the fact that Dres has so little gravity. It makes getting off of it super easy. After that conundrum, I began setting up my way to get to Zor, our next destination. We're getting a good view of Ghost Dres. Oh, whoops, I forgot to disable the, vector engine. Bye, Dres. Towards target. And there we go. Got an encounter. Just look at Zor. I bet you can get some real good resources from this planet. Or moon. Or asteroid, goddammit. And do a quick yeet around Zor. In retrograde. What am I doing? I could just do an orbital reversal. Now we're in business. Perfect. Keep it banned. Could I try landing with just RCS? Nah. Let me land on this slope. This nice slope. This big-ass cliff. I'm pretty good at using paint.net for all sorts of things, like drawing planets and other things about planets. Oh! Cannot quick save while I'm about to crash. Cannot, bro, I'm not about to crash. Can I just tank this? Yeah, I'm being extra cautious because I do not trust this terrain. Oh my god, SAS is enough to keep me upright. Alright, Lutrey, go out and explore. Wow, it's the Zor floating blobs. And the immense lag it's producing. Wow, look, the Zor hexagons. They're just like the ones back on, Moho. Well, at least this isn't Eve, so I don't need to tilt my craft. I don't need to use my landing legs to actually tilt it back up. I can just use RCS here. Nova Kirbani System Base Center. Alright, our next destination. What is there? What's closer? Okay, the comet is not closer. Good. That means we're going straight to Jewel. Hell yeah, I love Jewel. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, wait. I'm still in Jewel's sphere of influence. But I'm going 10,000 meters per second. Anyways, I'm gonna get going so I can actually record this. After landing on both Zor and Dres and exposing myself at the same time, I was on my way to Jewel, the largest planet in the system and the analog of Jupiter. It's also in the base game, so everyone knows this. With me arriving in the system, I began looking for my first target to land on, eventually deciding on the outermost and closest moon to me, Pol. I also decided to be a bit silly and just go straight into the moon. And coming down actually looked a little like this.
Not even close.
From there, landing on the moon was actually really easy. As you can see, the surface of Pol is really weird. It reminds me of Poland. After that awkward shenanigan, I began making my way towards our next destination, Bop. You know, I liked that raw footage bit. Let's do that again, but with some more music and no commentary, just cause I'm bored of actually having to voice over all this stuff. I'll drop in occasionally, but right now, we're just heading our way straight to Bop, so I'll see you in a couple minutes. God damn, nice job, Lutrey. Wow, damn. After probably the toughest montage I've ever made, we're gonna start heading our way to Laith. God, I regret saying that so much. However, this didn't take that long as Laith is really close to Jewel and it's pretty big, so you can pretty easily get into its orbit. It also just so happens I was coming down near a base I set up on Laith a few months back. On a mountain I named Kilimanjaro? I began setting up to land on Mount Kilimanjaro, because if I landed anywhere else, that'd be pretty bad. Laith was actually the part I was dreading the most, because it has an atmosphere. My craft does not go well with atmospheres. Coincidentally, coming down right over the volcano would put us right in its ash plume, which is not a good thing for visibility on where to land. Unfortunately, I was coming down on the wrong side of the volcano, and the base is on the other side of the mountain. Eventually, I realized I was coming down over a cliff, which is very, very bad. So I began heading my way directly towards a slope nearby. This was very painful, as steering this thing's like trying to steer a brick in a washing machine. Lutrey is eventually greeted by the weird Laith ground blobs. Hopefully they're not as hungry as the Eve ground blobs. After getting out, Lutrey carefully started making his way up the hill, making sure that the ground blobs didn't eat him. Fortunately, the ground blobs on Laith are a lot more passive than the ones on the Eve. Eventually, he went to plant... nothing? Wait, what? I think the game's bugged. He engraved fresh air because it's the first time he got fresh air. After a pretty chill ascent and a sight of a black hole in the distance, we began making our way to JAUNT, our last destination for the system, kind of. Obviously landing on JAUNT itself is a horrible idea, so obviously I instead went for a close orbit around JAUNT, capturing a nice view of its hardly even visible rings, before selecting my next destination, I-68P Mikey, I don't know how to say that, and got a close approach to JAUNT that allowed volumetric clouds to do its work for a little bit, so enjoy this cinematic shot. After that absolute cinema of a shot, I began making my way to the comet. However, unfortunately, as hard as I tried, I couldn't get myself captured. Even with using the tactics I used for getting myself captured around Zor, it wasn't working. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to skip the comets. Don't worry, I will visit them in the future with some sort of comet craft, so I won't leave these things abandoned forever. Eventually, I began making my way to my next target and the first modded planet of the system, Sarnus, the analog of Saturn. Sarnus was actually very easy to get to due to its massive gravitational influence, so this wasn't actually that big of a deal compared to the comet. I began scanning out for my first target, Slate, which is similar in size to Tylo, and similar in difficulty. Okay, so if I'm right, the bug that caused the plants to disappear was caused by Shabby, which plagued me the first time I did this a few months back. But, I think it's fixed because I had to just physically remove Shabby. Slate, will you turn into nothing? Slate is not turning into nothing. Go. While here, Lutrey decided to collect some experiments here, for no reason whatsoever. He also climbed back onto the craft like he did back on Tylo. Our next destination is Elu, the last stock object in the game. You may also notice another gravitational anomaly. I eventually began searching for places to land on Elu. You can also see the game's lighting system having a seizure. Coincidentally, when I was leaving Elu, I just so happened to get into encounter with one of the gravitational anomalies. Then, I had a very funny idea.
The
And with that, Lutrey had just gone interstellar and ended up in the Nova Kurbani system, which is pretty cool, but this is not his target, so he started making his way back home. He then decided to focus on the inner moons of Sarnus, starting with Ovok, an egg-shaped moon. However, these moons are very boring, so I'm going to skip through them with an epic montage. Whoa. What even? With the Vulcan Hail finished, my next target was Teto, the Titan analog. For some reason, outer parallax wasn't working and Teto is just pure white. Accurate Teto or not, this wasn't going to stop me from landing on the surface, but this might be pretty difficult due to the fact that Teto has a pretty thin atmosphere. Eventually, I found a pretty nice spot to land that wasn't in its methane oceans, so I guess it's time to begin the descent. After the pretty intense ascent, Lutrey had finally conquered Teto and began making his way closer in to Sarnus itself. Lutrey got out and went to go view the rings of Sarnus. This is where he is so far, on his crusade out across the solar system. Next on his journey is Erlum, Nidon, and the outer planets. Further digging has found out that he is collecting the samples for some reason, potentially as an offering to something uncertain? Who knows what that thing uncertain even is. Anyway, I'm gonna go touch some grass.